Keith, just give us an insight into what this week has been like. What's it been like coming, I guess, off the back of an emotionally draining occasion on Sunday, straight into Grimsby, and then straight onto another game this weekend? What's the challenges like?
Very difficult, but I'm not too sure whether anyone wants to hear how challenging the difficulties are. You know, from our perspective, the travelling, the psychological impact of preparing players, analysing, debriefing, preparing physically, mentally, the travelling, playing the games. It just makes a massive mental, psychological overload. You know, we're a team, because of our successes, they're going Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, because of our successes. Now, we put ourselves in a great position because of, you know, what we've achieved, and we will not be victims of that achievement or that successes by not being prepared physically or mentally. But with respect to mental and physical preparation, there has to be a certain amount of rest. Are we getting enough rest? No. Do we feel sorry for ourselves? No. Have we got a lot to play for? Yes. Are we happy with the points against Grimsby? 100%. Because like I previously said, if I'm an opposing manager, I'm Grimsby's manager, on Wednesday, I saw and I smelled blood on that game. I really did. If I'm Paul Hurst, this should have really been taking us to task and saying, we are going to beat you. This is a unique opportunity. And I thought that, and again, Grimsby's performance suited us.
Given all those challenges, do you have to rely on the squad as a whole? I know you made a couple of changes the other night.
You're caught between a rock and a hard place as a manager, as a player, with the 12 games we've got remaining. I look at some Premier League clubs who consistently play the same starting 11, and I'll refer to Burnley as being one of those teams who consistently will rest, recover, you know, eat, sleep, drink, go again. And they've been very successful doing it. So it's there for us to contemplate. You know, we've got another game on Tuesday, and then the remaining 10 fixtures, they are the real business elements where you need results over performances. And it's important that we keep the points board ticking over. And we've got to be mindful of the squad of players that we've got. We've got to respect everybody, but we've got to pick accordingly. You know, we pick teams now on what we need to implement against certain opposition, and taking into consideration the amount of game time that players have had. Now, for example, Kane Woolery, it's the first time for a long time that he's played 10 games in succession. And we've got to be mindful of the overload, the loading through players, you know, whether it's, you know, somebody's trying to get up to speed in David Nugent, or whether it's Jay Spearing, the loading, or, you know, Clarkey, for example, the loading that's going through these players is unheard of with respect to previous seasons. The condensity of the fixture pile-up, congestion, starting late, finishing on time. So we've got to be mindful of that, but we've also got to be aware that we want to pick our starting, what we consider strongest team against any opponent.
3 points between yourselves and the top three is nothing with 12 games to go. But I just wonder, what do you make of the run-in generally, given that you've still got to play at the top three?
The run-in that we've got.
Sorry, yeah.
I don't really look beyond the end of my nose. It's quite a big nose, but if I'm going to gauge and manage the team through these 12 games, I can't look any further than, you know, Exeter. It's the next big game. I've fallen victim before of planning ahead of the next game, and it can be disastrous, you know, and we're only planning for Exeter. But the running, and again, I heard everybody talking about the results on Tuesday night. We couldn't affect any of them results on Tuesday night, or we couldn't affect any of them on Saturday because we were playing at Wembley on Sunday. Listen, it's brilliant that everybody's conversating about other teams, but realistically, our staff, our players. We should be concentrating on our games and the biggest impact we can make, which is by representing our values in those games. We can't affect what Cheltenham do, you know, and equally so, somebody said, well, you know, you only drew against Grimsby. It kills me, it really does. I think that the players deserve more respect. And the fact that the night before, Barrow beat Cheltenham. It's a game of football. It's not we're playing Grimsby Town, bottom of the league. They're fighting. You know, and like I previously said, at Rochdale, we were 12 points adrift with 16 games to go. 12 points adrift. We stayed up because we had promotion form in that last 16 games. Promotion form. And that's the capability of any football team once they start winning and once they start playing with no fear and an invincibility feeling to the way that they play. So I don't disrespect any team. Don't play the league table. We play the team that's in front of us. We weren't quite at our best, but all things considered, it was a great point. We moved up a place. I'm sure we moved up a place on Tuesday. Somebody, you know, the reaction was as though we were bottom of the league because of that result. We're still second in the form table.
And as you say, Exeter next up. When you played Exeter down there, how do you look back on that game? I know the scoreline was pretty harsh on yourselves, but was that the most concerned that you've been about the team since you've come to Tranmere?
Concerned with the week. You know, nobody knows about the week we had in preparation for the Exeter game. It wasn't preparation, it was chaos. Ridiculous. But I don't want to go into detail because that's a long time in the season's history ago. But it's a stark reminder of how fortunes can change. You know, just by understanding the group and working hard and slowly but surely the changes that you need evolve and the team's fortunes evolve. But I look back at that as being a not particularly good day, but results-wise, but it was a great day from my perspective because it taught me so much that week about the dynamics of the squad.
And just finally from me, before Richard takes over, how are injuries looking for this weekend, Keith? Leo, Connor, Otis?
Well, I'm injured. So that tells you the task that we've got in front of us when we play Exeter. The amount of travelling, the fatigue, the mental fatigue. You know, I'm going to go home today and I'm going to put my head in a bucket of ice.
So I assume you're 50-50 for the match.
60-40 in my favour.
Yeah, okay. Can you say much about anyone else at all?
Well, no, if I could, and I really would like to, I'd like to play instead of Clarkey because that guy's been magnificent. He reflects everything that we want. 39 years of age, tremendous football player. And do I feel sorry for him? No. Do I want to reward him? Yes, 100%. Injury-wise, looking at it this morning, it looks like Vaughan is the only real serious one. The other players, they're within a chance of playing for the weekend, but it's more probable for Tuesday.
Right. Get well soon. Thanks, Keith.
Thank you very much.
Just speaking about James Vaughan there, Keith, obviously he had his operation. We saw him at Wembley on Sunday, not looking too bad after an operation. Is there, just to sort of set fans' expectations, is there any hope of him appearing again before the end of the season?
I don't know. Expectations, I have no idea, to be honest. You know, I respect and appreciate everything that Vaughan does for the club, does for me, does for the players. He's not available. We can't keep singing that same tune. If Vaughan had been on the pitch, if Vaughan had been on the pitch, if Vaughan had been on the pitch. I think that's quite condescending. I think it's quite disrespectful to the group of players that we've got. Vaughan will be ready and available when he is. He knows his own body. And there's only him who can tell us when he's fit. Other than that, you know, we have to deal with the group of players that we've got. And we'll create great opportunities in absence of Vaughan. But Vaughan, we want him back tomorrow. But realistically, it's probably going to be 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay. Obviously, I know you don't want me to harp on about him, but he has been the main supplier of goals for Rovers, and he would be a big loss to any side in that sort of form. And now you've got to find another way of replicating those goals from other parts of the pitch. Does that lend you to try different sort of systems or different ways of playing players? We've seen Paul Lewis push further forward, and the likes of Corey come back into the frame now.
Well, we can give up. That's the easiest thing to do. You know, I don't know what people expect, but there's no give up in me. There's a different way. There's another way. We've got to evolve again as a different squad without Varney. We understand that. We're not stupid. You know, we're quite intelligent, believe it or not. But like I said, we can give up. I don't think anyone's going to give up. We're in an unbelievable position, an unbelievable situation. We've got 12 games to play, and we're going to come up with a different way. It's got to evolve, though. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not. And there's players that will have to become more responsible for scoring goals. There's no question about that. But we'll definitely find a different way because we're ambitious. And we don't want to waste the good work. You know, 34 games, good work, great responses, superb results. And I'm not one of them where if only, wow, if only. That upsets me, it really does. I'm not an if only person. I'm an action person. I'm not a person of opinions on if, buts and maybes. I'm not paid to make opinions. I'm paid to make decisions. And, you know, we'll make good decisions on behalf of the football club in the absence of Varney, so that when Varney comes back, we're still in a great place.
And I suppose, you know, Tuesday night was always going to be a case of after the Lord Mayor's show, really, wasn't it? With such a big showpiece finale on Sunday. But win against Exeter on Saturday, and you're back on an average of 2 points per game, aren't you? There's no big drama in that, really, and it only you know what they say, only as good as your last game, and before you know it, Keith Hill's the Tranmere Messiah again, isn't he?
Well, I mean, not anyway.
Well, you'd have to ask the fans that, not me. I just report it.
I don't understand constant emotional reactions to a result. All I want on Saturday against Exeter is a performance. It's as simple as that. If we refer to the last time the team were promoted, where were they after this amount of games in the league? I don't know. I'm asking you that question. Was there an emotional reaction all the time to losing a game or drawing a game against Grimsby? You know, this club is in a great position. We've got everything to play for. Emotional reactions. I don't want to be some sort of messiah. I just want to be Keith Hill. You know, my mother loves me whether I'm winning or losing or drawing. Full stop. I'm not somebody who reacts to a result in a negative situation. I find a solution. I find a way. If people don't want me, I can move on. I've got no problems with this club, and the players and the supporters that I'm representing are really genuine. This group of players need to be supported. And Tuesday night's draw against Grimsby represented a great point and not a good performance.